Are you ready to get the hydrofacial glow? Loved in 87 countries across the world. It's not a facial, it's a hydrofacial. Now available across the UK. Visit hydrofacial.co.uk to find your nearest location.
Never take me anywhere. Never take me anywhere.
That's one of those stories that you're so glad happened to someone else, Sherry.
It still makes me go white when I think about it.
I've gone clammy palmed on your behalf.
Clammy palmed.
Hello, darling.
Friday at last. It can't come soon enough. Every week. I don't know how. I honestly don't know how you old birds do it. Is every day just like another day? I mean, there you are, lumbering towards extinction, and Sam and I, so fragrant in our middle youth, still nubile and with so much hope.
I know, and you know, my body is
how are you?
apart. I have no body anymore. My body's got completely. I don't know where it's gone.
What's that, Sam?
I'm the one in the wheelchair. I'm the one that gets to moan, okay?
Well, yeah, but you can at least you can run people over.
We missed you, darling. Big time.
Before we start, Ricky,
Big time.
have you please got some really good gossip?
Yeah.
Really good gossip. Do you know? I wish I did. So obviously earlier in the week it was the BAFTAs, and so it was the first in-person BAFTAs for a very, very long time, obviously because of the pandemic. So we're back on the red carpet. Had my fake faux beaver on. You know, you've got to have a gimmick.
For want of a better phrase, yeah.
Yep, the chocolate brown fur coat was out, which was, you know, it's always a draw for the big names, and they were all there. You know, the Benedict Cumberbatches, the Kenneth Branaghs, Sir Kenneth. And we chatted with everybody, right? Lovely Amelia Jones, who was nominated for Coda, who is Aled Jones, his daughter as well, and I hadn't seen her since she was knee-high. But isn't it a relief that someone in that family's got talent, as I said to Aled.
You bet you did.
He took it well. No, I guess, of course. But they were all there, and then and it was like a 1:30 call for the red carpet, so we all dolly down there. And it wrapped about 5, the red carpet, and then I took myself off for a chicken, thinking the job's well done. Chicken roast, that is, not anyone in particular. And I came in the morning, and just as I came in, I got a text message from one of the team here saying, "Okay, can we have a talk with you before you go on air?" Now that means 2 things in television: either you've been fired or they're resigning, right?
Yes.
But when I came in, poor Andrew, the producer, bless him, the camera card that we used to tape everything had corrupted. So we were there for 5 hours. We didn't get anything at all.
No.
And I thought, I so felt for Andrew coming in, obviously, to produce it on a night shift, and then realizing we had absolutely nothing to work with. But he was a complete pro, and we cobbled something together, but we couldn't get any of our own footage. And I said to him, you know, in my day, well, in our day, collectively, girls, of course, you could smack the side of the television and you'd get a picture back, wouldn't you? But the trouble is with modern technology, when it goes wrong, it goes catastrophically wrong. So gossip from BAFTA. I did hear, I thought this was a lovely nugget. Shirley Bassey. I can't be the only one who momentarily forgot how old Shirley Bassey is, because she turned 85 in January. I'm sure many people were Googling her after she did that fantastic opening with Diamonds Are Forever, because it was unbelievable. She got a standing ovation for that. And I did hear from someone who actually stayed for the ceremony that she got a standing ovation at one point when she got up halfway through and went for a pee. And I thought, oh my goodness me. If my other half had to give me a round of applause every time I got up to pee in the middle of the night, the poor boy would be
forever.
His hands would hurt.
She was. Do you know what, Sherry? I think with award ceremonies, when you are, and I do miss the days of Stephen Fry, I must admit, but I'm probably quite biased because I love that boy. But
he's lovely.
I think I like Rebel's sense of humour, but I always think you feel like you should be playing to the home crowd if you're hosting an event like that. But I think sometimes they sort of leave you hanging for far too long, and you could drive a bus through some of the gaps after the gags land. But I'm very fond of Rebel. And apparently she's
Yeah.
landed a role in a gritty BBC, or rather British drama. I'm not sure which channel it's on. And she's dropping about 16 million on she's got about a $16 million property portfolio, I heard. And she's thinking of buying somewhere in the smoke. So
Wow.
nice
How
work
amazing.
if you can get it. Nice work.
Yeah,
if you can get it.
she's great. She's lovely, actually.
Yeah, we're not quite on the same level, but can we talk about faux pas, please?
Oh, right. Okay. Well, I'm sorry. So was I padding my part too much, Harriet? However,
No, I
Always.
loved it.
You always pad your part, darling. We've talked about that many times.
Yes, we've seen it before.
oh,
Have
bless.
you? I've never seen it.
Well, I know you, and you've been in my dressing room, Sherry, as well. You're the one who's been in
And
here.
elsewhere.
I know. Oh, look, the only person in the dressing room on Friday is, can you see her? Oh, she's just a little lump right there.
Oh,
A little Clemmy, who is
Oh,
equally
Clemmy,
enthralled by my
Clemmy.
banter as you, Harriet.
Oh, sorry, I was asleep. I woke up. Sorry.
All right, so you woke up. Okay, right, faux pas. So when Dee suggested we talk about this week, and as we've all been, as you'll appreciate, because we do live telly and because we're always on stage under the heat lights and feeling the rake, there's been many a faux pas over the years. I was trying to think of a couple. I did do that classic faux pas where must have been about 10 years ago now. Even before that, it was GMTV. And on camera and behind the scenes, there was an absolute epidemic of women falling pregnant. And so the producers were always going off on maternity leave, or one of our weather turns was off because the bump was getting so big she was covering Ireland, that sort of thing. And I went into makeup one morning and I turned to this woman who's since become a friend and is a dear neighbor of mine now. And we've known each other for many, many years. And I said, and you know what's coming, ladies. I said, not you as well.
Oh, no.
And she wasn't.
oh
It's
no.
a rather billowing frock. And I remember to this day, it's one of those moments because I check
You
myself
go cold.
every time now. Yeah, you go cold. You go cold. But other faux pas, I mean, there are, as you say, Sherry, there are far too many to mention.
Too many.
Litany. So I will hand over to you.
Thank you.
Come on, girls.
I was usheretting at Sadler's Wells when I was a dance student. And it was a night we had a gala and there was some royal people coming and we were waiting, obviously, because everyone has to be seated first. And they shut the doors and everyone was waiting. Of course, I was usheretting on the grand circle. And anyway, people came up the stairs and I said, oh, look, I'm really so sorry. The bloody royals are coming. We can't open the doors. I'm so sorry. It was them. It was the royals. Yeah, I said the bloody royals are coming. I'm so sorry. You'll have to go downstairs. We can't open the doors.
Did they hear you, Harriet?
Oh, yes, I said it to them. That's the point. I said it to them. Yes.
No.
To their face?
And then I realised, and I just sort of did a deep curtsy and pulled open the door.
Which is why you're known as Harriet Thorpe No BE, right?
Never will be now.
That is hilarious.
What about you, Dee?
Well, in the 80s, I was not an it girl, darling, not an it girl, but wannabe maybe. I mean, like Harriet was something else, but a tit girl, actually. We were talking earlier. Anyway, but I used to go to, in Cheney Walk, Keith Richard, the Rolling Stones, used to have these amazing parties. And for some reason, I always got invited. And I don't know if you remember Molly Parkin, who was a sort of, yes, Molly. She took me under her wing and she always wanted me to sing. So she heard me singing. Oh, I want you to sing. Anyway, she at one of the parties, she threw me up on the stage because it was an enormous house with a little stage with this woman. And she said, right, dear, I want you and Annie. We were all quite, we'd had a few glasses of champers, you can imagine. And she said, you and Annie, I want you and Annie to get up on the stage and sing. So I looked at this, what I thought was a rather, lovely little old lady. And I said to her, do you know any songs? And it was Annie Ross.
Oh, no.
And everyone heard
oh my God.
Do you know any songs? So that was it, darling. That was my big faux pas of my lifetime. Thank you.
What about you, Sam?
Oh God, well, you can imagine with me, I mean, within 5 minutes of meeting anyone, I talk about my lady garden and my, my boobs and all sorts of things. But the first time that I was a guest panelists on Loose Women, we were just doing the pre run through, and then we had 5 minutes before we went on. So you've got the producer, you've got all the hosts. So you know, everyone sat there, and someone said something. I went, oh, don't worry, I all the time like this, and I said the F word, and I'm not a swearer when I'm, you know, well, I am behind the scenes, but when I'm on television, and obviously, you know, when I'm being professional, it just doesn't come into my vocabulary. And I just said the F-bomb, and everyone around the table just stopped and just kind of went really, really quiet. And it was just one of them moments, like, why would you do that? I've never been invited back since, so I'm not too sure whether that was that. But yeah, it was one of those moments. It was awful, because I kind of thought everyone was just going to go, oh, that was funny, but no, everyone went deadly silent and kind of just looked down at their papers. So yeah, that was my experience. Well, there's probably many more.
That wasn't on air, Sam, was it?
Oh no! This was just, you know, like the run through when you go just before you go on air.
Yeah.
And I think because I was a newbie, and I think because they were a bit, you know, kind of, is she gonna be good? Is she gonna be professional? Of course I am, but they didn't really know that. And then of course I just go and say the F-bomb straight away. And they were probably all worried, like, oh my God, have we just made the worst decision ever? We've got her on for the whole bloody show.
Well,
but yeah.
After 25 years of breakfast television, I don't know about you, Sherry, you can concur as a fellow daytime diva. I've never heard anyone swear behind the scenes here.
Never.
No.
Oh, no, they're like nuns.
I mean, certainly not to anyone's face, Sam.
No. Never. They're so sweet and gentle and kind.
Go on then,
Never
Sherry.
would.
You have the floor, darling, for the big finish. I can only imagine what quagmire we're going down
Well,
now.
I can't choose really. I've got so many. I mean, I've got one which is slightly longer with Princess Margaret, and then I've got another one which is slightly shorter. Which one would you like?
Is there a short version of the one with Princess Margaret? I can hear Harriet thinking.
Shorter version of the long one.
Well, I'll try and make it as short as possible. How long have you got? So I was doing a Royal Variety Show in London, and I was with the Coronation Street lot, Liz Dawn and all of that lot, and we were sailors. And we were doing a sailing on. Anyway, they gave us a costume. They gave me, but I was the last to get a costume. So I had a jacket, but the trousers are too big. So I tied it with a piece of string. So we got on and we're going, but in those days, the Royal Variety Show took about 5 hours to do. And in the Royal Box, I don't know if you've ever been in a Royal Box, but they have their own loo and their own bar and everything. And it was Princess Margaret. So we were at the end, 5 hours. So and my trousers fell down. Unfortunately, I had a very nice pair of knickers on. So everybody screamed and thought it was hysterically funny. And it was devastating. I came off, the producers went mad. They said, how could you embarrass the royal family like this? I said, it wasn't my fault. I was in tears, and they said, this is terrible. I don't know what they're going to say. There's nothing we can do because it's all live, blah, 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 blah. So we had to queue up to meet Princess Margaret. So she comes along and she gets me, she went, and by this time she'd been in that box a long time. She went, hello. Oh, you're the young lady, or the funny one, aren't you? And I said, well, what happened? She said, oh, yes. She said, I saw what you did. She said, my mother always said, always wear a clean pair of knickers wherever you go. You never know what's going to happen. Well done. And she tottered off. And as she tottered off, she tripped. And everybody grabbed her and picked her up. It was terrible. And the producer looked at me as if I'd destroyed the royal family in one fell swoop. That was one of my stories.
Well, at least you gave her a warmer welcome than Harriet's ever given the royal family. So
Exactly.
I think the damehood could still be in the offing, my love. The damehood could still be in the offing.
Absolutely.
Oh, ladies, Friday fun day. Can we have a drink now?
Yeah,
we can have a drink now.
Let's go.
Excellent.
I will just tell you this quick one.
Oh.
When I was at ITV, and I was meeting David Listen,
Really got away with it.
and he was with a friend, this guy, and he said, "Oh, Sherry, come and meet us," or whatever. And he went, oh, hi. And I said, oh, hello. And I said, what are you here for? He said, Parkinson. I went, oh my God, I love Parkinson. Oh, I said, do you know, I'd love to have all his tapes. And I went through all the things, you know, all those silly faux pas that Parky had made. And then he went, oh, I'm here for the charity for Parkinson's.
Oh,
Oh,
There's no coming back from that.
major blooper.
No coming back from that, darling.
Just died.
Ah.
Never
Yeah,
take
it's-
me anywhere.
yeah.
Never take me anywhere.
that's one of those stories that you're so glad happened to someone else, Sherry.
It still makes me go white when I think
Oh,
about
I've gone clammy palmed on your behalf.
Yeah, me too.
Palms.
Grand
It's not often we
finale.
hear you say that, darling.
No, absolutely. Well, I'm off for a drop of the hard stuff, and you've heard me say that once or twice, Harriet. Sam, Ree, and my darling Dee. Until we meet again.
Love you,
Until we
darling.
meet again.
Au revoir.
Goodbye.